Okay, welcome to day three and the second step that we're going to talk about here, and that is what do you tweet about? What do you say? And how creative can you be? Well, there are no limits with Twitter. This is the fastest moving social network pretty much ever, and you can chime in on a global conversation anytime you want. So, I'm going to give you in this lesson just some ideas as to how you can start tweeting, and the key thing really is to remain active. If you want to use Twitter for marketing purposes, people don't want to see somebody who just chimes in on Twitter once a month. I mean, this is something you probably got to put to practice every day. So here's how you can get some ideas. First thing is let's talk about the area of being self-promotional. Nobody's going to be shocked when you get onto Twitter and start promoting yourself. However, I will kind of quickly mention as a caveat that you don't want to overdo this. There's different experts that will tell you different percentages, but some I've heard people say to keep self-promotional stuff as low as 20% of the stuff you tweet about, because again, it's a social network. It's not a sales convention. People aren't looking to be sold to. So use it with care. Know that the people you're chatting with here are expecting to be social. However, if you get to know them, they might go and support you, and who knows, maybe even buy from you because they like you. So there's definitely a business purpose here. So what could you promote? You promote things like blog posts. In fact, that's what many bloggers do, is they use social media to promote their blogs. Their blogs promote them, and then down the road they sell things to their blog visitors. So it's a longer sales cycle, but it works really well for that whole self-promotional angle. And then you will see people like this image here on the right, uh, promoting sales pages or squeeze pages. I don't know for sure if he's actually selling something there, if it's a blog post. In fact, by the title, it looks like it's probably a blog post. 7 ways to earn money from your social media networks, not just Twitter. So maybe he's writing about it, or maybe he's selling a report. I don't know, but that's another way of kind of putting it out there. And notice his website is a random mix of letters. It's eepurl.com. It's not the full site, and that's a URL shortener. You'll need to get used to that because there's no way you can put full URLs if you have a long website. You only have 140 characters to work with Twitter, so get used to using URL shorteners. And if you use things like TweetDeck, like I showed you earlier, it automatically shortens it for you. I've also seen people promoting their events. I've promoted events for myself. And you'll also see people promoting other social profiles. They'll go onto Twitter and say, hey, follow me on my Facebook fan page, or join me on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. And so that's something you could do as well. It doesn't hurt to promote other social sites and connect with people in different formats, different flavors, and so on. So that's the whole sort of self-promotional angle that you can consider when thinking about what do I tweet about. But like I said, you don't want to be tweeting about yourself all the time. So a great way of sort of building up your getting permission to go and promote yourself is to help others and use Twitter for what it's supposed to be used for, and that is being social. So one thing you can do is just retweet other blog posts that you read. Get to know a group of bloggers who write on a regular basis, and they probably use Twitter. So subscribe to some blogs of people that you really like and retweet their blog posts. When you retweet that, you mention their Twitter name, you're going to show up on their radar. And that's a great way of A, getting something for you to tweet about, but B, also connecting with other people and hopefully getting to know them. Uh, Second one here, raise awareness. If you look at the little screenshot there, somebody is sending out a tweet saying, "Please help me raise money for the Cancer Society," and they've got a link to their fundraiser page. So, a great way of getting people on board is, you can obviously promote your own charity, or even better, in some scenarios, would be to help other people get traffic to their raise money websites. This person, Crystal, would be very happy to see you retweeting her message on a regular basis. You'd have a Twitter friend right away. Another thing I see people doing, and you might want to try as well, is send tweets out that promote other businesses that you believe in or that you see value in and think that people on your list, people following you, would get value from. Maybe somebody's got a really cool invention and they don't really have a market yet. Help them bring their product to the market, and you'll have a Twitter friend, and you'll build your Twitter status. And then just a quick tip there, to the final step, mention their Twitter name. Anytime you want to give promotional stuff to other people, mention their name. And all you do is put, like we talked about in an earlier lesson, just put at and then whatever their Twitter name is. And most people do check for their at mentions. So when they see you mentioning them on Twitter, they're going to be happy. And it's a great way of getting yourself out there. Now, I'm going to talk about a few other things you can do to get ideas for how to tweet and continue to build your reputation. You can send out funny tweets, and in some cases, what you might want to do is just go to a jokes website and pull a joke out and stick it in if it's quick enough to put in 140 characters. Not always possible, but sometimes it is. Or maybe you're just a funny person yourself. Tweet something really short and funny and get people laughing, maybe get a conversation started. Another one would be links to cool or funny stuff that tends to go viral. If you promote a really funny video that somebody hasn't seen yet, gives you something to tweet about, gives them something to laugh about, and that they may even reply to you saying, "Hey, thanks for sending that along." So anytime you watch something, keep your eyes open. If you watch a funny YouTube video, if you read a really interesting news story that isn't necessarily depressing news, but maybe something a little bit more positive, or shocking, or anything that will get people talking, tweet that out. I mentioned here good quotes. I say good quotes because quotes are really becoming overdone on Twitter. People just paste and auto-feed quotes into their Twitter feed all day long, and it gets really annoying. But if you have a really profound quote that might connect with your followers, then stick it in there, and it's something else you can tweet about. And then I also mentioned something here called hashtags. I've given two examples here in the pictures on the right. The first one, this guy Tom Cloverfield is using a common thing that happens on Twitter on Fridays, which is called Follow Friday, and he's saying that he recommends following this guy Ken underscore WAZ, but he's using this hashtag $FF and follow every day, or it could be follow Friday or whatever. Hashtags are used to help people search, so you could go and search for people mentioning a follow Friday or an FF. But also, if you look at the second example, you see somebody here saying, Gallo, please be okay, that has to hurt. Well, I would have no idea what she's talking about unless she used that hashtag that says Knicks. She's talking about the New York Knicks. I'm a basketball fan, so I know she's talking about a player named Gallinari. So it's using that hashtag in that particular instance is great because you can have a conversation with people already out there tuned in to the Knicks or to any other. This could apply to anything, not just the New York Knicks, but think of anything that sort of has a buzzword associated with it. iPod or MacBook or whatever. You could use a hashtag, mention your comment, and then just put the hashtag for what you're talking about, and you're going to pick up a conversation with all kinds of people who are talking about that kind of thing. So, in a nutshell, that's your lesson. You've given you plenty of ideas here as to what you can tweet about. And ultimately, it comes down to your creativity and then your ability to stick to it and do this as often as you feel you need to be an effective marketer.